Hello students, myself Dr. Muhammad Ahmed. I welcome you all to the 6th lecture of Mathematics 2. Students, in the previous 2 to 3 classes, we have discussed system of linear equations, how to solve them and what is the meaning of consistent and inconsistent system of linear equations. So these were the things that we have discussed in the last few classes. Now in today's class, we are going to discuss what is the meaning of linearly dependent and independent vectors, right? So our side heading is linearly dependence and independence of vectors. Already in M1 we have discussed what is the meaning of vectors. Here in matrices, vectors means suppose a row matrix or column matrix is called as a vector, that is Vi. In general it is represented as Vi, means it can be V1, it can be V2, it can be V3 and so on. So it can be like a column matrix x1, x2 and so on xn, or it can be a row matrix, that is Vi equals to x1, x2 and so on xn, right? It can be a column matrix, it can be a row matrix. These in matrix representation, these are called as vectors, right? Here suppose I am having v1, v2, v3 and so on vn, some n vectors I am having. Now when can I say that these vectors are linearly dependent or these vectors are linearly independent? That we are going to discuss now. Suppose I am having few scalars alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and so on alpha n. These are scalars, not all zeros. What is the meaning? Not all zeros means any of them, some of them will be non-zero. Not all zeros means they are not all zeros. Alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and so on alpha n, all are not zeros. Some of them are non-zeros, right? If there exist this kind of scalars, if there exists alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and so on alpha n, which are scalars, not all zeros, such that if I write alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus alpha 3 v3 and so on alpha n vn, this is equal to 0. If I am able to write like this with few non-zero scalars, this is called as the linear combination of these vectors with these scalars alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus alpha 3 v3 and so on alpha n vn. If I am able to write this equal to 0 by considering, or by I am able to find few scalars alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and so on alpha n, which are not all zeros, such that I am able to write like this, such that I am able to write this linear combination equals to 0. If I am able to write like this, then we say that then these vectors, then v1, v2 and so on vn are linearly dependent, or in short it is written as LD, linearly dependent. So this is one definition of linearly dependent, right? So when can we say that few vectors v1, v2, v3 and so on vn are linearly dependent? If I am able to find scalars alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and so on alpha n, such that which are not all zeros, means few of them can be 0 or few of them can be non-zero, right? If I am able to find this type of scalar such that alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus alpha 3 v3 and so on alpha n vn equals to 0, if I am able to write like this, then we say that the vectors v1, v2 and so on vn are linearly dependent, right? When can we say that vectors are linearly independent? Suppose if I want to write like this, alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus alpha 3 v3 and so on alpha n vn equals to 0. Suppose if I want to write like this, I will not be able to find any non-zero scalars. If I am not able to find any non-zero scalars, that is alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and alpha n all must be 0, then we say that the vectors are linearly independent. The second point, if alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and alpha n are all zeros such that alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus alpha 3 v3 plus so on plus alpha n vn equals to 0. If I want to write like this, I am not able to find non-zero scalars. I am not able to find non-zero scalars, right? All the scalars alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and alpha n must be zeros. Then we say that the vectors v1, v2 and so on vn are linearly independent. So this is the definition of linearly independent and dependent vectors, right? So when can we say that a given vectors v1, v2, v3, vn are linearly dependent? If I am able to find alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, alpha n, not all zeros such that this linear combination is equal to 0, then we say that the vectors are linearly dependent. Suppose if I want to write like this, alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 and so on alpha n vn equals to 0, if I want to write like this, if I am not able to find all the vectors, all the scalars alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, alpha n not zeros, means I am able to find only zeros, then the vectors v1, v2 and so on vn are said to be linearly independent, right? This is the formal definition of linearly dependence and independence of vectors, or linearly dependent vectors and linearly independent vectors. So this definition may be asked in the examination for 2 marks, right? But while solving problems, so in the questions what will be given? In the questions vectors will be given, v1, v2, v3 and so on, like 3 to 4 vectors will be given in the examination. In the question 3 to 4 vectors will be given and you will be asked to check whether they are linearly dependent or independent. So what we have to do, we will make a note here. What is the procedure to solve the problems related to this? We'll make a note, right? Suppose I am given vectors, suppose v1 is given to be some a1, a2, a3 and v2 is given to be b1, b2, b3 and v3 is given to be, for example I am considering this c1, c2, c3. I am considering only 3 vectors and every vector is having 3 entries, right? a1, a2, a3, v2 is having b1, b2, b3, v3 is having c1, c2, c3. If these 3 vectors are given and we are asked to test whether they are linearly dependent or independent, what we have to do? We have to form a matrix A whose rows are these entries, whose rows are vectors themselves, a1, a2, a3, b1, b2, b3, c1, c2, c3. We have to form the matrix whose rows are these vectors, right? v1 should be in the first row, v2 should be in the second row, v3 should be in the third row. See, this is an example I am considering. This is not the specific case. Only this kind of questions will be given in the examination. I am not saying like that. See, 3 vectors may be given, 4 vectors may be given, 5 vectors may be given, even 2 vectors are also given, right? Here I am considering, for example, 3 vectors I am considering, right? So this is a 3 by 3 matrix, right? How to find they are linearly dependent or whether they are linearly dependent or independent. So we have to reduce this matrix A to row echelon form. Already we know this, how to reduce any given matrix to row echelon form, that we have already discussed, right? We know we have to make this entry as 0, then this entry as 0, then we have to go for this entry to make 0. Like that we have to proceed, right? So after reducing the matrix to row echelon form, we will be able to find rank of this, right? We will be able to find rank of this. If this rank is equal to number of vectors, how many vectors are given here? 3. So rank of A is 3, that is number of vectors. Then the vectors v1, v2 and v3, these vectors are linearly independent, right? if the vectors are if the rank of the matrix is equal to number of vectors, then the vectors are said to be linearly independent, right? Otherwise means rank of A is less than number of vectors, then V1, V2, V3 are linearly dependent. Right? So, this is the procedure to check whether the given vectors in the question are linearly dependent or independent. What we have to do? We have to write all the vectors in the rows of a matrix. Consider that matrix as A. Reduce the matrix to row echelon form and find its rank. We know how to find the rank. Number of non-zero rows in the row echelon form is called as rank. After getting the rank, we have to see whether the rank is equal to number of vectors or not. If it is equal to number of vectors, then the vectors are said to be linearly independent. If it is less than number of vectors, if the rank is less than number of vectors, then the vectors are said to be linearly dependent. Now let us see problems, how to solve the problems related to this. So first problem is very trivial, very easy. Let us see. Let V1 equals to 1 minus 1 0 and V2 equals to 0 1 minus 1, V3 equals to 0 0 1. Three vectors are given. First vector is V1, which is 1 minus 1 0, second vector is V2, which is 0 1 minus 1, third vector is V3, which is 0 0 1. Show that this set V1, V2, V3, show that this set is linearly independent, right? This is what the question. We have to show that these vectors V1, V2, V3 are linearly independent. So what we have to do? We have to form the matrix A whose rows are the vectors, right? Whose rows are vectors. First vector V1 is 1 minus 1 0, second vector V2 is 0 1 minus 1, third vector V3 is 0 0 1, right? Now we have to reduce this matrix to row echelon form, right? For reducing the matrix to row echelon form, by making use of this, we have to make these two entries as 0, but already we can see that these two entries are zeros, right? Next we try to make this entry as 0, but when we try to make this entry as 0, this entry will become non-zero. So that is why we should not make this entry as 0. Instead of making this entry as 0, we have to go for this entry. Now you see that this entry is already 0. Further we cannot simplify. If we try to make this entry as 0, here we will get a non-zero entry because of this 1, right? So this matrix is already in row echelon form, right? What is the definition of row echelon form? If any 0 rows are there, that should be in the bottom. Any 0 row is there? No. Now, and second condition is when you move from top to bottom, number of zeros should be increasing before a non-zero entry. So before this 1, 0 zeros are there. Before this 1, 1 0 is there. Before this 1, 2 zeros are there. So number of zeros are increasing. So this matrix is in row echelon form. Therefore, what will be the rank? Number of non-zero rows in this. Rank will be number of non-zero rows. How many number of non-zero rows are there? Because of this non-zero entry, this row is a non-zero row. Because of these two non-zero entries, this row is a non-zero row. Because of this non-zero entry, this row is also a non-zero row. So 3 non-zero rows are there. 0 row means, remember that 0 row means all the entries should be 0. But you see that in each row there are some non-zero entries. So that is why no 0 row is there in the matrix A. So rank will be, number of non-zero rows are 3, rank will be 3, which is equal to, how many vectors are given? 3 vectors are given. So which is equal to number of vectors. So just now we have discussed that if rank is equal to number of vectors, then the vectors are said to be linearly independent. Therefore this V1, V2 and V3 are linearly independent, right? This is how we solve the problems. Because this problem became easy because when we wrote the rows of this matrix as vectors, automatically this matrix is already in row echelon form. So that is why we don't need to reduce this to row echelon form, and directly we got the rank, which is equal to number of vectors. Now we are going to see one more problem in which the matrix will not be in row echelon form, and instead of 3 vectors 4 vectors will be given. Let us see the second problem. So second problem is let 4 vectors are given. v1 equals to 1 minus 1 0, v2 equals to 0 1 minus 1, and v3 equals to 0 1 2, and v4 equals to 1 0 3. Then show that this set v1 v2 v3 v4, this set is linearly dependent, right? This is the first part of the question. We have to show that these 4 vectors are linearly dependent. The second part is, and find relation between them. So if they are linearly dependent, we can find the relation between them. That how to find that relation we will discuss in this problem, right? But before that, we have to show that these vectors v1 v2 v3 v4, these vectors are linearly dependent, right? So what we have to do to check whether the given vectors are linearly dependent or independent, we have to write the vectors in the rows of a matrix, right? 1 minus 1 0, then 0 1 minus 1 0 1 2 1 0 3, right? We have to write this matrix in which the rows are the vectors, given vectors. Now what we have to do, we have to make this entry as 0, already it is 0, this entry as 0, already it is 0. Now we have to make this entry as 0. So R4 minus R1 we have to do. So what we have to do, R4 should be replaced with R4 minus R1. Then what will happen, this matrix A will become, see, first 3 rows will be as it is, 1 minus 1 0, 0 1 minus 1, 0 1 2, last row will become 1 minus 1 0, 0 minus of minus 1 will become plus 1, then 3 minus 0 is 3 only, right? So after making these 3 entries as 0, now go for this. When we try to make this entry as 0, what will happen, we will get a non-zero row here. So that is why instead of making this as 0, we try to make this as 0 by using this, right? So this row minus this row, then this row minus this row. So what we have to do, R3 should be replaced with R3 minus R2, and R4 should be replaced with R4 minus R2, right? Then what will happen, this matrix A will become, see, first 2 rows will be as it is because we are not touching the first 2 rows, 0 1 minus 1. Then what will happen, this will become 0, 1 minus 1 will become 0, 2 minus of minus 1 will become 3. Then last row, this will become already 0, then 1 minus 1 0, then 3 minus of minus 1 will become 4, 3 minus of minus 1 will become 4, right? Now see, further we cannot make this entry as 0. If we try to make this entry as 0, we will get a non-zero entry here. So that is why we move towards this entry. Now how to make this as 0, multiply this with 4 and multiply this with 3, then subtract. So what we have to do is, R4 should be replaced, see, R4 should be replaced with R4 should be multiplied with 3. So 3R4 minus 4R3. Then what will happen, this matrix A will reduce to, first 3 rows will be as it is, first 3 rows will be 1 minus 1 0, 0 1 minus 1, then 0 0 3. So last row will become 0 0, and this will also become 0, right? Now it is in, which is in row echelon form. Which is in row echelon form. Why it is in row echelon form? 0 rows are in the bottom, right? And when you move from top to bottom, number of zeros are increasing. Here 0 zeros are there, here 1 0 is there, here 2 zeros are there, and the last 3 zeros are there. So number of zeros are increasing. So this matrix is in row echelon form. Now what is the rank of this? So here What is rank of A? Rank of A is number of non-zero rows. How many number of non-zero rows are there? Here 2 non-zero entries are there. This is a non-zero row. Here 2 non-zero entries are there. This is also a non-zero row. Here 1 non-zero entry is there. This is also a non-zero row. Last row is a 0 row. So 3 non-zero rows are there. So rank of A will be 3, which is not equal to number of vectors. No, number of vectors are which is not equal to number of vectors. Actually number of vectors are 4, no, which is equal to 4. Number of vectors are 4. Given number of vectors are 4, v1, v2, v3, v4. But rank we are getting to be 3. Therefore, what we can say, if rank of the matrix is less than number of vectors, what we can say? Therefore, v1, v2, v3 and v4, these vectors are linearly dependent. This is the first part of the question. You see the question once. Few 4 vectors are given, v1, v2, v3, v4. We have to show that these vectors are linearly dependent. We have shown that. Now what we have to do, we have to find the relation between these vectors, right? We have to find the relation between these 4 vectors. Because these vectors are linearly dependent, so we can find 4 scalars, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, alpha 4, which are not all zeros, such that, so I am writing here, since v1, v2, v3 and v4 are linearly dependent, then there exists scalars alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, alpha 4, not all zeros, such that alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus alpha 3 v3 plus alpha 4 v4 is equal to 0, right? This is the definition of linearly dependent vectors. If 4 vectors are there which are linearly dependent, then we will be able to find 4 scalars which are not all zeros, such that alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus alpha 3 v3 plus alpha 4 v4 will be equal to 0. Now what are v1, v2, v3, v4 given in the question? So v1 is given to be 1 minus 1 0. So let us write here alpha 1 into what is v1? v1 is given to be 1 minus 1 0 plus alpha 2 into what is v2? v2 is given to be 0 1 minus 1 plus alpha 3 into v3 is given to be 0 1 2 plus alpha 4 into v4 is given to be 1 0 3. This is equal to 0 means 0 comma 0 comma 0 vector, right? Now, so we will collect first coefficient, first coordinate, then second coordinate, then third coordinate. So first coordinate will be alpha 1 here and here 0 and here 0 and here alpha 4. When we multiply, we will get alpha 4. So what we will get here? First coordinate will be alpha 1 here plus 0 plus alpha 4. Then second coordinate will be minus alpha 1, because when we multiply alpha 1 with minus 1, we will get minus alpha 1. Here alpha 2 into 1 is plus alpha 2, then plus third alpha 3 into 1, so alpha 3 plus alpha 4 into 0, this will become 0 obviously. Then the last will be alpha 1 into 0 is 0, third coordinate I am writing. Then alpha 2 into minus 1, alpha 2 into minus 1 will be minus alpha 2, then alpha 3 into 2 is plus 2 alpha 3, then alpha 4 into 3 plus 3 alpha 4. This will be equal to 0 comma 0 comma 0, right? What we are going to do now, we are going to find the relation between these vectors v1, v2, v3, v4. So relation means if we find the values of alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, alpha 4, then we will get the relation between these v1, v2, v3, v4, right? Our target is to find these scalars alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and alpha 4. So for that we have to solve these equations. Now from this we will get 3 different equations. Alpha 1 plus alpha 4 equals to 0, Then second equation will be minus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus alpha 3 equals to 0. Then third equation will be minus alpha 2 plus 2 alpha 3 plus 3 alpha 4 equal to 0. So we got three equations, equation number 1, equation number 2, and last one is equation number 3. So we got three equations, but how many unknowns are there? See, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, alpha 4, 4 unknowns and 3 equations. 3 equations and how many unknowns? 4 unknowns. See, to determine 4 unknowns, we need 4 equations. If we want to determine 3 unknowns, we need 3 equations. But here 4 unknowns are there, only 3 equations are there. So out of all these 4 unknowns, 1 unknown should be taken as arbitrary. Now I am going to consider alpha 4 as arbitrary. So let alpha 4 as arbitrary. Alpha 4 is arbitrary. Arbitrary means it can be anything. It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be minus 1, it can be minus 2, it can be 1 by 2, like that. It can be any arbitrary real number. Let alpha 4 is arbitrary. Then what will happen from 1? So from the first equation, what will happen when alpha 4 is arbitrary? So from first equation, what will happen? Alpha 1 equals to minus alpha 4, right? Alpha 4 is arbitrary and alpha 1 is minus alpha 4. What is the meaning of this? If we select alpha 4 to be 1, then alpha 1 will be minus 1, right? The same way we need to determine alpha 2 and alpha 3. Now let us substitute this value of alpha 1, which is minus alpha 4, in the second equation. So from second equation, what will happen? From 2 minus alpha 1, alpha 1 is minus alpha 4. So it will become plus alpha 4, then plus alpha 2, then plus alpha 3 equals to 0. Now from this we can find what is alpha 2. Alpha 2 is given by minus alpha 3 minus alpha 4. We got alpha 2 in terms of alpha 3 and alpha 4. Now let us substitute this alpha 2 here, right? We can substitute alpha 2 in the third equation. So from 3, what will happen? From 3, what is alpha 2? Minus of alpha 2 is minus alpha 3 minus alpha 4. So those both will become plus. So what will get here? Plus alpha 3 plus alpha 4. Then remaining terms are in third equation plus 2 alpha 3 plus 3 alpha 4 equals to 0. Right? Now let us simplify this. So what will happen here? How many alpha 3s are there? Here 1, here 2. So 3 alpha 3 plus how many alpha 4s are there? 4 alpha 4s are there, plus 4 alpha 4 equals to 0. Now this implies what will be alpha 3? Alpha 3 will be minus 4 by 3 alpha 4. So we got alpha 4 also in terms of alpha 3. What is the meaning? If we select alpha 4 to be 1, then alpha 3 will be minus 4 by 3 into 1 is 1 only. So minus 4 by 3. We got alpha 1, we got alpha 3. Alpha 2 also can be determined by substituting the value of alpha 3 here, right? Alpha 3 can be determined in terms of alpha 4. So alpha 3 should be substituted here. Then what will happen? Alpha 2 equals to, so alpha 2 equals to minus alpha 3. So what will happen? Alpha 3 is minus 4 by 3, no? So that minus and this minus will become plus 4 by 3 alpha 4 minus alpha 4. Now when we take the LCM, we will get 1 by 3 alpha 4. So we got alpha 2 equals to alpha 4 by 3. So everything we got in terms of alpha 4. Finally, what will happen? Now what is the relation? This is the relation. So consider this as some fourth equation. Then from 4, alpha 1 V1. What is alpha 1 here? Minus alpha 4 V1 plus alpha 2. What is alpha 2? Alpha 4 by 3 into V2 plus alpha 3. Alpha 3 is minus 4 by 3 alpha 4 into V3 plus alpha 4. Alpha 4 is arbitrary. So alpha 4 into V4 equal to 0. From fourth equation we got this. Now let us select alpha 4 because alpha 4 is arbitrary. So let alpha 4 is some 1. For easiest I am taking 1. Then what will happen? So minus V1 plus 1 by 3 V2 minus 4 by 3 V3 plus V4 equal to 0. So this is the required relation between the vectors v1, v2, v3 and v4. This is the required relation that we have obtained, right? So let me explain this problem once again. So let us see the question once. What is the question here? 4 vectors are given, v1, v2, v3, v4. We have to show that these vectors are linearly independent. Also we have to find the relation between them. To show that these vectors are linearly independent, we will write these vectors as rows of the matrix A. Then we have to reduce that to row echelon form. For reducing that, we perform these elementary row operations. Then we got the matrix to be in row echelon form. Once we got the matrix in row echelon form, we have to see for number of non-zero rows, right? If the non-zero rows are less than number of vectors, then vectors are linearly dependent. We got here rank to be 3, which is not equal to number of vectors. So vectors are linearly dependent. Once the vectors are linearly dependent, we can find the relation. Dependent means they are depending on each other. We can find that the dependency is given by some relation. That relation can be obtained, right? Because these vectors are linearly dependent, we can find the scalars alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, alpha 4, which are not all zeros, such that this is possible. This is the definition of linear dependency of vectors, right? Then we have to substitute v1, v2, v3, v4. We will form these equations and solve these equations. When we solve these equations, we got everything in terms of, we got alpha 1, we got alpha 2, alpha 3 in terms of alpha 4. We substituted, right? Because alpha 4 is arbitrary, we took it to be 1. Then we got the relation, required relation between these vectors, right? So now we will see here in this problem what is happening here. We are not getting a square matrix. By writing the vectors as rows of a matrix, we are not getting a square matrix here. We got to be 4 by 3 matrix. This matrix is a 4 by 3 matrix. Now we will discuss. So 4 by 3 matrix is given, we know the procedure. Now let us make this little bit easy way how to solve those problems related to linearly dependence and independence when vectors will form the square matrix, right? When the vectors form square matrix, then how to solve that? So that we are going to discuss now. So we will make a note. If vectors form the square matrix A, then we have to find the determinant of this. If this determinant is not equal to 0, right, then we know that suppose if the vectors form a 3 by 3 matrix, right, a square matrix A which is of order 3 by 3, then find the determinant of that. First point is find the determinant of that. If the determinant is not equal to 0, then we know that if vectors instead of this, let us write like this. If vectors v1, v2 and v3, if these 3 vectors form a square matrix, a 3 by 3 square matrix, then we have to find the determinant of A. If the determinant is not equal to 0, then rank of A will be 3, which is equal to number of vectors. And these v1, v2, v3 are linearly independent, right? The second case is what we have to do, we have to find the determinant. If the determinant is equal to 0, then rank of A will be less than number of vectors, which is 3. And what will happen? These vectors v1, v2 and v3 are linearly dependent. So the easiest way to check whether the given vectors are linearly dependent or independent, if these vectors form the matrix, square matrix, then we have to find the determinant. If the determinant is not equal to 0, obviously rank will be equal to number of vectors and vectors become linearly independent. If the determinant is equal to 0, then obviously rank will be less than number of vectors and vectors will become linearly dependent. Now let us see problems related to this. The third problem is find whether A few vectors are given. Vectors are 1 comma 1 comma 1. Second vector is I comma and I, and third vector is 1 plus I comma minus 1 comma minus I, right? Find whether this set is linearly dependent or linearly independent, right? This is what the question, right? How to solve this? How to find whether they are linearly dependent or independent? We have to form a matrix whose rows are the vectors, right? 1 1 first row, first vector. Second row mein, in second row we have to write the second vector I and I. In third row we have to write the third vector 1 plus I minus 1 and minus I, right? So now we have to try to reduce this to row echelon form if it is not a square matrix to find the rank, but it is a square matrix. It's a 3 by 3 matrix which is a square matrix. Just now in a note we have discussed, if we get a square matrix by writing the vectors as rows of that matrix, then we have to find the determinant directly. If the determinant is not equal to 0, then the vectors are linearly independent, right? If the determinant is equal to 0, then rank will be obviously less than number of vectors, and vectors will become linearly dependent. So let us find the determinant. For finding the determinant, see, second row is very similar to first row if we multiply the first row with I. So what I am going to do is R2 should be replaced with, for finding the determinant I am making this row operation, R2 minus I R1. Then what will happen? This matrix A will become, see, first row will be as it is 1 1 1. In second row what will happen? I minus I into 1. So I minus I 0. Second row also I minus second entry also, third entry also 0. Then third row will be I 1 plus I minus 1 and minus I, right? So we got this matrix. Now if any row, we know in intermediate we have discussed, if in determinants we have studied that if any row or column of a matrix is 0, then the determinant is 0. So this implies what will happen, because here the second row is a 0 row, then determinant will be 0. If the determinant is 0, then what will happen? This rank of A will be less than 3, which is number of vectors. Then what we can say, therefore the vectors, therefore given vectors are linearly dependent because rank is less than 3. So for square matrices this is the easiest procedure. Instead of reducing to row echelon form, directly we have to find the determinant. So we'll see one more problem now. This is the fourth one. So find whether the vectors are given to be 2 comma 2 comma 1, second vector is given to be 2 comma I comma minus 1, third vector is given to be 1 plus I minus I and 1, are linearly dependent or linearly independent. So what we have to do, see, both the ways we can solve this problem. We can reduce the matrix to row echelon form. First we have to write the matrix whose rows are the vectors 2 2 1, 2 I minus 1, 1 plus I minus I and 1. We have to write the rows, we have to write the vectors as rows of a matrix. Then either we can reduce this to row echelon form, or we can directly find the determinant of this, right? So for reducing this matrix to row echelon form, here we have to make this one as 0 or this one as 0. So it is bit difficult, right? Making this as 0 and making this as 0 is bit difficult. So instead of that, what we do is we try to find the determinant of this. For finding the determinant, we try to make more entries to 0, because determinant calculation will become easy if more zeros are there in the matrix. So that is why we try to make more zeros. right? Now you see that by using this 1 we can make this as 0. Just add these two, this will become 0. Now you subtract this one from this one, this will become 0. So what we are going to do is we are going to perform two row operations. R2 should be replaced with R2 plus R1 and R3 should be replaced with R3 minus R1, right? Then what will happen? This matrix A will become, see, first row will be as it is because we are not touching the first row. Second row, what we are doing? We are adding the second row in first row. So 2 plus 2 is 4, here I plus 2 and here minus 1 plus 1 will become 0. Then R3 minus R1 we are doing. So 1 plus I, this 1 plus I minus 2. So what we will get here? I minus 1. I minus 1. Then minus I minus 2. So we will get minus I minus 2. Then last 1 minus 1, 0. Now we will find the determinant. So determinant of A, we will expand this determinant. We will expand this determinant by using this column, right? 1 into, so we can generally we expand the determinant by using this row, that is 2 into AD minus BC, then minus 2 into this one minus this one into this one, plus 1 into this one minus this one into this one, like that we find. But we can even find the determinant by using this row, that is 1 into AD minus BC, then minus 0 into it will become 0, then plus 0 into it will become 0. So we'll expand the determinant by using this row, this column, third column. So what will happen? 1 into AD minus BC. So what we'll get? 4 into minus I minus 2, then minus into I plus 2 into I minus 1, right? Remaining entries will become 0. Automatically remaining entries will become 0 because, why remaining entries will become 0? Because of these two zeros, right? So let us simplify this. What will happen? This is equal to minus 4I minus plus 8, then minus I square, then minus plus I, then minus 2I, then minus plus 2, right? We have to simplify this. So what we will get here? This is equal to I square. Here I square is there. I square will become minus 1 and this minus will make it plus 1. So this entry is over. Now here minus 4I minus 2I minus 6I plus I. So we will get minus 5I, this one and this one covered. Then 8 plus 2 is, sorry, this should be minus, right? Because you see here minus 4I minus 4 into 2 minus 8, this should be minus actually. So minus 8 plus 2 is minus 6. Then what will happen? This minus 5I minus 6 plus 1 is minus 5. You can take minus 5 common, then it will be I plus 1. Obviously this will be not equal to 0. This is not a zero quantity, this is a non-zero quantity. So what has happened? So therefore determinant of A we calculated, which is not equal to 0. If the determinant is not equal to 0, then what we can say? Rank of A will be equal to 3, which is equal to number of vectors. If rank is equal to number of vectors, what we can say? Therefore given vectors are linearly independent, right? This is how we have to solve the problems if the given vectors form a square matrix, right? Okay students, I am going to end today's session here. So let us just quickly revise what we have discussed in today's class. We started this class with the definition of linearly dependent and independent vectors, right? A set of vectors v1, v2, v3, vn. This set of vectors is said to be linearly dependent if we are able to find the scalars alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, alpha n, which are not all zeros, such that this linear combination equal to 0 is possible, right? In other hand, these vectors are said to be linearly independent if we are not able to find any non-zero scalars. All the scalars must be 0 to write this linear combination equal to 0. Then the vectors are said to be linearly independent. This is the formal definition. But for solving the problems, what we have to do? We have to write the given vectors in the rows of a matrix, then find the rank of matrix by reducing it to row echelon form, right? If the rank is equal to number of vectors, then the vectors are linearly independent. If the rank is less than number of vectors, then the vectors are linearly dependent. So based on that, we have seen two problems. In the second problem, we are asked to show that the 4 vectors are linearly dependent, and also we found the relation between them by considering alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus alpha 3 v3 and alpha 4 v4 equals to 0. By considering this, we found the relation between the given vectors. Then after that, how to find whether the given vectors are linearly dependent or independent if the vectors forms a square matrix, that we have discussed, right? On this we have seen two problems, right? I am going to end today's session here. See you in the next class, and in next class we will discuss what is the meaning of eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So related to this, in quiz I am going to give one problem in which 3 vectors will be given. First we have to check whether they are linearly dependent or independent. If they are linearly dependent, we have to find the relation between them, right? So this problem I am going to give in the quiz, right? In the next class we will discuss what is the meaning of eigenvalues and eigenvectors, right? I am going to end today's session here. See you in the next class. Thank you.